Welcome students. Welcome to my second lecture. I am Tanvir Ahmed, lecturer Department of Civil Engineering, World University of Bangladesh. Outline of the lecture. In today's lecture, we will cover the following contents. Number 1, brief description about the sanitation system. That means the types of sanitation system. Then number 2, criteria and appropriateness of sanitation system. That means which types or system of sanitation is appropriate for a certain use and its criteria. Then number 3, low-cost sanitary system with a brief description of simple pit latrine. Pit is the most common sanitary system used in developing countries, and it is the cheapest amongst all. We will discuss about the pit latrine here in this lecture. Then the last one is present scenario of sanitation in Bangladesh. That means in Bangladesh, which types of sanitation system are now common in use? How many persons or family are now have a good sanitary system? What is the improved sanitation system used in Bangladesh, etc. will be discussed in this lecture. Types of sanitation. Based on the fact whether the waste is stored, treated and disposed of at the point of generation or transported to somewhere else for treatment and or disposal, sanitation system may be divided into the following two categories. In other way, we can say based on the final disposal system of waste, sanitation system may be grouped into the following two types, and the types are on-site systems and off-site systems. Then again, based on the fact whether the system allows infiltration, sanitation systems are of two types as follows. That means based on infiltration criteria, for example, we can say is the water can infiltrate into ground or not. The sanitation system may be grouped into the following two types, and they are permeable or unconfined systems and confined systems. Figure shows the on-site and off-site pit latrine system. Here this is the on-site off-site pit latrine system, and in this system waste is disposed at the point where it is generated, and in on-site sanitation system waste is generally transported to somewhere else and finally disposed to them. On-site sanitation system. Here we will now discuss about on-site sanitation system. This sanitation system normally used in rural and low-income urban communities. In on-site sanitation system, wastes are collected, treated and disposed of at the point of generation. That means waste is disposed in the place where it is generated. We can get a clear idea from its example. The examples of on-site sanitation systems are pit latrines and septic tank systems. Generally in pit latrines, when it is filled with waste, it is covered with ash or soil, and then it is necessary to make another pit for using the latrine again. And in septic tank system, the waste may be dropped out near the tank and stored for final disposal. The waste is stored in such a way normally biodegrades after some days. Then widely used in rural areas of both developed and developing countries, even in urban areas in absence of costly sewerage system. As the cost of preparation and maintenance of this sanitation system is very low compared to the other improved one, this sanitation system is normally used in developing countries. Then modification of this system includes ventilated pit latrine so that no inflammable gas can be stored in pit system. Pour flush single and double pit latrines to make it free from odor nuisance, septic tanks and so on. The principles of on-site systems are: number 1, infiltration of liquids into the soil. As it is made normally by digging soil, so can easily infiltrate into the soil and pollute the soil and also the groundwater. Then number 2, solids are retained, digested aerobically and have to be removed, or a new pit has to be dug at regular intervals. And this is primarily designed to dispose of human excreta. Here aerobically means generally digested with air. Then the last one, wastewater from cooking clothes washing and bathing are collected in small drains and disposed of in shockwaves for infiltration. If only sewage water needs to store in this pit, this system is done. Where there is no option to sewage disposed, only when this combined system is done, the sewage water will infiltrate into the soil and it will not affect the pit system except in rainy season. Suitability of uses of an on-site sanitation system. Number 1. This system is most suitable for sparsely settled rural areas with low population density and low water consumption because of the system's dependence on the infiltration capacity of the soil for the disposal of the liquid portion of excreta. For digging pits several times to use the latrine when it is filled, this system is only suitable in low dense population areas. And as saying above, that this system infiltrates water into ground, so the effectiveness of it depends on water consumption. The more the water will consume, the more the effectiveness of the pit will decrease. And then the last one, the system is not feasible for areas with high population density, high water consumption and low infiltration rate of soil or high groundwater table. Offsite sanitation system. Here we will discuss about offsite sanitation system. In offsite sanitation system, waste is collected and transported to somewhere else for treatment and disposal. That means waste is disposed elsewhere from the point of generation. And in another way we can say it is the reverse of on-site sanitation system. Some examples are bucket latrine systems and conventional sewerage systems. In bucket latrines, normally after a certain period, the bucket is carried for treatment and disposal purpose and then returned to the original position. And in conventional sewerage system, waste is transported through the sewer line or pipes for treatment and final disposal or disposal purpose. Then the basic elements of this system are collection, transportation, treatment and disposal and or reuse. The last one, the waste is collected either through house showers or manually using buckets or vaults, transported either by carts, trucks or sewer systems to a suitable distant place where it is treated pure to disposal or reuse. Then, collection and transportation of wastes through a sewer reticulation system requires that is the waste be diluted by water. It is essential piped water supply to be available in areas where this system is to be applied. That means when the waste will transported by conventional sewer lines, it is necessary to use water to dilute the waste so that the waste can easily move into the sewer line or pipe. To dilute the waste, it is necessary to have a piped water supply in this system. The last one is, this waterborne system is by far the most satisfactory system of waste disposal, provided sufficient funds are available for its construction and maintenance. And as this system is more suitable, in many cities, these systems are being in uses. Now the another two types of sanitation systems are dry sanitation systems and wet sanitation systems. First we will discuss about dry sanitation system. In dry sanitation systems, no water is used for dilution of wastes. And the name has been picked out from this point of view. They are usually applied in unsewered areas with no piped water supply. For example, pit latrine systems on site and bucket latrine systems off site. That means pit system is one of the example of dry sanitation system. Now wet sanitation system. In wet system, the waste is diluted with flashes of water. Suitable where piped water supply systems are available. For example, septic tank systems on site and conventional sewerage systems off site. Now the another two types of sanitation systems are permeable or unconfined systems and confined systems. First we will discuss about permeable or unconfined systems. In permeable or unconfined systems, the liquid part of waste is allowed to infiltrate, cause potential pollution of groundwater as water can easily infiltrate into the ground. Example of permeable or unconfined systems is pit latrine. Then confined systems. The liquid portion of the wastage is not allowed to infiltrate into the ground. As in this system, septic tank system or conventional sewerage systems are used. Then no potential for groundwater pollutions, as water cannot infiltrate into the soil. Example of confined systems are aqua brevis, septic tanks, etc. Now, what are the criteria for good sanitation system? A good sanitation system should have the following criteria. Number 1, simple and expensive in construction and operation, and it is the most priority to all human beings. Then, should not contaminate surface soil, surface water or groundwater. Minimum handling of excreta and free from odor and unsightly conditions. If it is needed to change the pit very often and creates odor, it will not be a good sanitation system. Then, no access to flies, insects and animals, as they are responsible for various waterborne diseases. Should use little or no water. Should require little supervision and maintenance. Should handle all wastage and wastewater, and then finally should use little or no mechanical equipments. These all are the criteria of a good sanitation system. Purposes of sanitation systems. These all are the purposes of a good sanitation systems. First one is health. To provide or maintain a healthy life, we mainly use sanitation system, and this is the most priority. Then privacy. Then the third one is conveniences. That means it should be very easy to use. Then fourth one, cleaning environment. It should have a good cleaning environment. Prestige and status. It should have a modern and aesthetic design to keep up our status or prestige. The last one, a good sanitation system should therefore be able to meet all the different requirements of the people. Suitability of sanitation system. Generally, the suitability of sanitation systems depends on the following two terms: level of water supply and population density. First, we will discuss about the level of water supply. On-site pit latrine system would not be appropriate with piped water supply, because here more water will consume and it will pollute groundwater by infiltration. Then number 2, waterborne sewerage system, for example conventional sewerage system, is not feasible option with bucket carried or hand pumped water supply, because in waterborne sewerage system waste is transported into sewer line or pipe with the help of water, and in bucket latrine no water is used, as it is the example of dry latrine. Similarly, hand pump water supply has a low flow or discharge, which does not need waterborne sewerage systems to dispose. It's only the wasters of money. Then population density. On-site system is more appropriate for low density rural areas. Off-site systems are more suitable for high density urban centers. From the above discussion, it is clear that suitability of sanitation system depends on the resources, locality and uses. For example, conventional sewerage system is not suitable in rural areas, although it is improved than pit latrines. Similarly, pit latrines are not suitable in areas where there is a conventional sewerage system. This diagram shows the suitability of various sanitation systems based on population density and level of water supply. From this diagram we can say, in rural areas where dug well and hand pumps are the sources of water supply, then it is necessary to use dry on-site sanitation system there. Similarly, in rural areas where stand post and house connections are the sources of water supply, then it is necessary to use wet on-site sanitation system there. Similarly, in urban areas where dug well and hand pump are the sources of water supply, then it is necessary to use dry off-site sanitation system there. And in urban areas where stand post and house connections are the sources of water supply, then it is necessary to use wet offsite sanitation systems there. Low cost sanitation technologies. These are the examples of low cost sanitation technologies. First one is pit latrine. This is prepared by directly digging into soil, and it is used to store waste. Pour flush latrines, where a water seal is maintained with low volume of flushing. This is the improved system of pit latrines. All forms of pit latrines are not fully sanitary. With slight modification and design and with some intervention, conventional pit latrines could be improved and hygienic. Some common forms of latrine. Simple pit latrines. The pit latrines are the most common and simplest form of excreta disposal in many developing countries, as this is cheap. These are almost universally acceptable in rural areas and are also widely used in low-income urban communities, although often not appropriate. They are, however, the cheapest system possible and the system most appropriate for individual householders responsible for their own sanitation. A pit latrine consists of a manually dug or bored hole into the ground, an appropriate seat or squatting slab, and a superstructure erected over it. The pit is simply a hole in the ground into which excreta fall. Urine and other liquids soak into the ground, and solid materials are retained and decomposed in the pit. And this is the conventional simple pit latrine. Here, this is the squatting slab, and bore or pit is under this squatting slab. A superstructure is necessary to build over it to protect the privacy and to use it all around the year in all climatic conditions. The major types of pit latrines include simple or homemade pit latrines, ventilated improved pit latrines, that means VIP latrines, red waterless earth closet, that means ROEC, forms. The forms may be in these three types. Direct pit latrines. In direct pit latrines, excreta fall directly into a pit underneath the users. Offsite pit latrine. Excreta pass through a short pipe or a channel to a pit a few meters away. Then the last one is partly offset pit latrines. When part of the pit is under the shelter and part is outside, then it is called partly offset pit latrines. And this figure shows direct pit latrine. In these types of latrine, excreta directly falls into the squatting slab. This is the examples or figure of offset pit latrines. In offset pit latrines, excreta falls some distance away from the squatting slabs or the latrines. And this is partly offset pit latrines. Here, excreta falls directly under the squatting slab and some distance away from the squatting slab. Advantages and disadvantages of pit latrines. Here, these are the some advantages of simple pit latrines. First one is least costly, easily constructed and maintained, structurally safe and therefore free from the risk of children falling into it and thus less frightening for children, prevents hookworm transmissions, offers a better solution than open defecation and unhygienic hanging latrines. The main advantages of pit latrines is that it has stopped open defecation and defecation from hanging latrines, which is mainly responsible for environmental pollution. These are the some disadvantages of simple pit latrines. First one, flies lay their eggs in fishes within poorly built latrines. Then water may nuisance in these types of latrines. Improper lining of pits may lead to collapse of the superstructures. These are the main disadvantages of pit latrines. Present scenario of sanitation system in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, after the liberation war, open defecation and hanging latrines were the only sanitation system. However, to improve sanitation system, the government of Bangladesh has taken many steps and it gives us a good result. Now in Bangladesh, there is a significant progress in reducing open defecation from 34% in 1990 to just 1% in national population in 2015. It's very amazing. However, the current rate of improved sanitation is 61%, growing at only 1.1% annually, which is also remarkable. Still, the quality of sanitation coverage is an emerging area of concern. There are more than 40% of all latrines classified as unimproved. Drinking water access is widespread, but half of the drinking water consumed fails to meet water safety standards. In urban areas of Bangladesh, piped water supply reaches only about one-third of the population, and there is no systematic sewer disposal and treatment system. But only in Dhaka, Bangladesh's capital city, has a sewer system and it serves just 18% of the city. This is the end of our today's lecture. Thank you everyone.